Welcome to Nikon Content. In this video I'm going to try to explain you the function of each button in this camera and when and how to use them. Are you ready? First things first, the on and off button. Left is for off, right is for on. Then we have the shoot button. To shoot, you have to press it. To focus, press it, but not too hard. Let's follow up with the mode dial. This has different setting options. First of all, there is the guide mode. You should use it if you're a beginner. It asks you which kind of action you want to make and how to get the photo that you want. Next mode is automatic. It basically adapts all settings without you having to do anything. It works perfectly for fast shoots. Following up, we find the non-flash mode. This keeps the flash from popping out. Next mode is portrait. Its settings allow you to take a perfect portrait. The same happens with the landscape mode. The next one can be confusing. It's used for instantaneous photos of children. It is supposed to be used to make the photo colorful and make the skin tones more natural. This other one is used to capture people or objects that are going very fast. The macro mode has its settings set to take good macro photos. This next one, you should use it to take night portraits. It is set with flash and slow aperture. Then we have the manual mode that doesn't set anything. You have to adapt it by yourself. The aperture mode sets everything but the aperture. The shutter priority has everything set but the shutter speed. Finally, we have the program auto. It shows different combinations of presets. Next to the mode dial, we can see 4 more options. If the first one is selected, only one shot will be taken when you press the shot button. When the multiple frames option is selected, it keeps taking photos while you are pressing the shot button. This next option is the timer. I have set it on 10 seconds, but you can change it if you want to. Finally, we can find the quiet mode. When it shuts, it doesn't make noise. To continue, I will explain these 5 buttons next to the screen. The playback button is used to take a look at the photos in the SD card. To swipe, you have to use the arrows dial. In the menu, you can set the camera settings. If you don't understand them, you should use the question mark button, and a description will pop up. The next 2 are to zoom out and zoom in. And the last one is only to see the settings related to the shot. Let's go to the other side of the screen. If you pull this little lever, you have to see in the screen what is seen in the ocular visor. If this red button is pressed, the camera starts recording. The 4 arrows are to move around the screen and the OK button is to select. If the trash can is pressed 2 times, the photo is erased. The button above them is to lock and unlock the automatic exposure and the autofocus. The info button near the on and off one is to show and hide the information from the screen. This wheel is very important for the manual mode. It's used to regulate different settings. To regulate the diaphragm, just turn the wheel. To set the obturator, you have to do the same but pressing the plus-minus button at the same time. To regulate the flash mode, do the same but this time pressing the flash button on the left side. The FN button under the flash one can be set to change different things, like the ISO. Rolling the wheel and pressing the FN button, you can change the ISO. Finally, there are the camera length buttons. The A is to set the automatic focus and the M to set it manual. The VR is the vibration reductor. You can turn it on and off. Last but not least, we have the lens release button. Well, that was all the camera buttons. I hope it was helpful and that you were able to understand everything.